So what we're doing is making a Battenburg cake. So there's 183 grams of caster sugar, and then sieving 183 grams of self-raising flour. All right, make sure all the lumps have gone. Nice and steady. There we go. And then some butter. I use stalk margarine. It's better really for baking. So again, 183 grams. Measuring it all out. And then we're putting a teaspoon of baking powder. Put that straight in with the dry mix. There. Now add the butter. Oh, turn that off. Move it out of the way. I'll clean that later. Okay, get the mixer and eggs. We had 3 eggs. So 1, 2, and finally 3. Mix it all up. There we go. A little mix. That's it. You get a nice consistency. Start off slow so the flour doesn't fly everywhere, and then just build up the speed of the mixer. A little bit of flavouring. So I've got vanilla flavouring. Just use the scissors to open it. They've got a clip on. There we go. A little bit tight, we're not being used. So some vanilla flavouring, vanilla extract. We'll mix that up. There we go. Nice consistency. Try and get all the dry powder off the side. There we go. Smells gorgeous. We'll keep mixing. Mixing. There we go. That's nice. All the lumps have gone. Speed it up. It's getting really soft. So Battenburg cake is really tasty. It is. I've not made one for ages, so this is the first. This is what happens when you're in lockdown. Just make it do it as we come. There we go. Move that out of the way, and look at that mix. Now we've got a greased Battenburg tray. So what we need to do is put that down and fill up 2 of the what do you call them? Elements. 2 of them. There we go. Put some in. Probably half the mix in those 2. That's nice. Look at the texture of that. So roughly about half the mix. Mix it up. Tidy it up. Don't want to drop it in those bits. And then once we've got half the mix, a little bit of food colouring. I've not got any of the paste, so I'm having to use a little bit of liquid food colouring. Doesn't give it the best colour really, but never mind, just makes a slight difference. Mix that up, makes it a little bit darker. Normally I'd use the paste, but it's empty, I'm afraid, so it's better for cakes is the paste. And what we're going to do is fill up those 2 spare elements there with the rest of the mixture. And at this point, I've got the oven preheating on gas mark 5. I'm not sure what the electrical equivalent is on that, but it's gas mark 5 I'm cooking it at. I will fill them up. So it's slightly different. It just if I'd used the paste, it'd have been a deeper red, which would be better. But unfortunately, that's empty. So use the rest of the mix in there, fill them up, and then we'll bake it on gas mark 5 for about 30 minutes. Just check it. Remember to do the prick test to make sure that it's cooked. There we go, all loaded up. And then cook it for 30 minutes or so. Just check. I actually did it for 32 minutes because it just needed an extra couple of minutes. Put it on a baking tray, whack it in the oven. There we go, look at that. Yeah, 30. There we go, set the other thing. Now, I've just let it cool and I've cut the excess off. So I'm now just taking it out. See, it's gone sort of like brownish, not red. We see food colouring not so strong. And I'm just making sure it's free from the sides before I tip it out. The texture is lovely. There we go. And take out the dividers. Tell you what, worth getting a Battenburg tin. It's a lovely cake to make. I'll just check the top end as well. Make sure it's all free from the sides. Don't want it sticking. And obviously I use greaseproof paper on the base, and so it just drops out. Look at that. Ooh. And you've got sponge fingers, long sponge fingers. Right, now what we're going to do is put a little bit of caster sugar down to roll the marzipan out on. The reason I use caster sugar to roll the marzipan, it just gives a lovely crunch in with the marzipan as you're eating the Battenburg cake. So there we go. Let's get the marzipan. There. Just put some on it first, some sugar on it, so they mix it up a bit. So the rolling pin doesn't stick to the marzipan. There we go. I'll try and spread it out fairly evenly. I could do one more practice really, but we'll keep going. Right, I've got it fairly thin. Now, normally you'd use apricot jam and spread it all over the marzipan, ready to put the fingers on, but I haven't got apricot jam, so strawberry will do. I like strawberry jam. So I just spoon it on, mix it, just spread it round on the marzipan. As you can tell, I'm not very delicate. Spread it all over. There we go. There's looking nice all. And then what we're going to do is get the fingers and start building the Battenburg cake. That's one. Now, what we're going to do to put some more jam on the top and the sides, right? So when we join it together, it's got filling inside it. I wonder if you could make it with cream as well, as in jam and cream. There we go. Maybe a thought. Could try it next time. Just spread it on. And then get, obviously, you're building it different colours of sponge. A lighter one on that side. Put some more on top. That's one way of using the jam up, isn't it? Get another finger on top. Look at that. And finally, let's put some jam on there. On the side. And final finger there. Right, okay, so now I've got to try and lift the marzipan. Tell you what, let's get a cake knife. There we go, look at that. Let's just release it from the surface and fold it up. There. There we go. And we'll see what, easier to tip it over onto the side, so you're rolling it now. Press it down, free it all up, bring it round. Let's try and get the marzipan to join to each other so it doesn't open. Look at that. You could seal it if you wanted to, and but what we'll do, we'll trim it off. There it goes. Nearly there. Well, let's move it. There we go. Let's trim that off, and we'll trim the edges, and you'll be able to see what it looks like. Yeah. Like this. Take it down on the edge. And there's a Battenburg cake. Spin it round. Don't worry, all the excess will be eaten. Well, let's pull that out of the way. And there you go, one Battenburg cake. Looks nice. So you're going to have to try and make one. Oh, let's lift it again. There we go. Up.